It's time for Transformers Tuesday, so let's get ready to sink our teeth into Dinobot! Dinobot here is from the second wave of Kingdom released last year, and is based off his 90s Beast Wars show model. If you're a more casual fan, you might be wondering what Beast Wars is. The TLDR is these Transformers are from the future and time travel. They get stuck on prehistoric Earth, forcing them to turn to organic-like creatures to survive the extreme energon radiation. There's a lot more to it than that, but this gives you enough to understand why Dinobot here is Raptor, not car. Controversial as it was when it first came out back in '96, it became known as one of the best parts of the Transformers brand. And seeing as it was its 25th anniversary last year, this led to the Kingdom toy line to include loads of characters from it to test if fans were interested. And lo and behold, they were! Now enough about Beast Wars, what about Dinobot here? Well, we're starting off in his Beast mode, where these funky designs deviate the most, and dang this is fun. Going for a more Jurassic Park Velociraptor, he's got scales as opposed to feathers, giving him a really nice texture. Those eyes are decked out with pupils, giving him a lot of personality, and while I often complain about a lack of paint, which he does kind of suffer from in robot mode, in Raptor mode here, he has a wicked two-tone effect like he did in the show, not to mention that bright red for the tongue. He does look a little shaky if you look at him dead on, missing his front teeth and having those orange hips on full display, plus, due to his tail becoming his weapons, the tip is bright purple, sticking out from the rest of the tail. But even with these oddities, he feels more finished than a lot of Voyagers I come across. Those extra paint apps really help him in my opinion. Unlike others I've reviewed thus far, we can actually test Dinobot's alt mod articulation. And it's alright. He can open and close his mouth, which is always good fun on a beast former. His arms aren't too bad, but those extremely long hands make getting a decent pose a bit tricky. Nothing going on in the tail. Now for the legs, and this is the main problem for me. They can splay out so far, bend at the knees and spin at the feet. This is fine, this is great, but he has no forwards or backwards on the hips, causing him to be forever stuck in a sort of chilling pose. You could try and get him in walking poses, but they're not great. He can pounce though, that's pretty sweet. Transformation is rather fun. Very different from pretty much all the figures in my collection. Those fake raptor head halves on his legs to give him a more show-accurate wide head on the chest is so genius to me. My only complaint is when going into Raptor mode, it's a bit fiddly to get the legs to go in properly. Now for Robot mode, and wow is this good. Just as good, if not better, than his Raptor mode. He's got nearly perfect proportions to his show model, and one of the best head sculpts I've ever seen. He does have less paint here, but the blue they've used on his face and chest is brilliant. His tail splits in two and becomes a spinning Velociraptor blades. You can also detach the sword from the centre to give him a more sword-like weapon. The purple on the sword is to be more show-accurate, and while it is purple in the show, it's more of a purple tinge to a silver blade. Anyway, this guy reminds me a lot of 86 Hot Rod, in the sense that they obviously got someone who loved the character to design him. All the little details like the wide wrapped chest, the moulded bone details on the legs, his iconic gold spine, that while hidden by kibble is still there. I especially like how they did the raptor feet becoming the hands, both accurate and effective. Articulation here is some of the best I've ever seen, with all the joints he should have going an extra few degrees than needed. Makes him a joy to display and do photo shoots with. Unfortunately, my copy has rather loose elbows, making it difficult to hold his weapons. Other than that, this toy is basically perfect. He has everything I'd want in a Dinobot toy in a Voyager class price. Speaking of price, he varies a bit, this lad. I got him for retail last year for about $45-50 NZD, and depending on where you look, you can still get him for around 50. I have, however, seen him go all the way up to 80. If you can find him for 50, then I say go for it. He's an amazing figure and such an iconic character. It should have been a rat trap. But yeah, that's been my look at Dinobot. Please let me know what you think of this toy, and Beast Wars in general, down in the comments. If YouTube hasn't made this video for kids and turned the comments off, that is. Transformers Tuesday is a little side project I do. I mainly make build videos, so please check those ones out too. My latest one was a clay cyber bunny. I know, right? Anyways, catch you later. Farewell! Yes, I'm aware this came out on a Wednesday. Shush.